All right, folks, today we're doing a blues in G, and I'm going to show you a really cool way to get this kind of sound without having to do just a classic shuffle. New guitar tutorials every single Monday. You can print out these tabs by becoming a Patreon. The link is right here. You choose both how much you want to pay and how frequently you pay. Hit subscribe if you like this kind of guitar content, and I have my email in the description if you want some one-on-one lessons. So we're doing a blues in G, but we're not playing a G bar chord. We're not playing a G7. We're not doing this super stretchy shuffle. We're doing this sound. And this note here is in the blues scale. But this note here is in the chord. And mixing those two notes, we get this sound. And that's what we're going to take a look at. So we're going to bar the B string 3rd fret and the G string 3rd fret. Now, I like to play with my right hand here. Gives me more control of the dynamics of the sound. Right? But I want you to be able to see my hand. So it's not going to be as palm muted, or I'm not going to have as much control as I normally would. But ultimately, also that's up to you how much you want to vary the sound with your strumming hand. Barring this 3rd fret here, these two, you're going to hammer on 4th fret of the G string. And that note is in your G7 chord. That is a B note. But this B flat is on our scale. So you get this cool blues sound just from that hammer on. And then your ring finger is going to play the 5th fret of the same two strings. And that's that shuffle sound. Right back to that hammer on. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and. Then your ring finger comes down and plays the 5th fret of the D string, which is a G note, the root note of your chord. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 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 So that's constant, right? Now, to give it just a little more movement, that G note, we're only going to play it every other time. So measure 1 would be 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Measure 2 is 1 and 2. Now you can choose to either let that ring, 1 and 2, 3, 4, or staccato, release the tension with your fretting hand and kill the sound. That's again up to you. Those are the little dynamics. When people say tones in the fingers, these are the things they're referring to. Now, tone isn't entirely in the fingers. A lot of it has to do with gear, but your ability to manipulate the tone does come from your strumming and your fretting hand. So the first 4 measures slowly sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Just like the G chord, moving to the C chord, we can move this idea up the fretboard. Now we're barring the same strings, but it's the 8th fret. After that, it's the exact same motion. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. If the C idea is here, D will be up here. Bar the 10th fret, repeat the idea, and that's how you'd start your turnaround. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Down to the C, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Down to the G, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And you could finish on this D chord as well. But to give it a little more movement, we're going to make a D9 chord. 5th fret with your middle finger, 4th fret with your index, and then your ring and pinky are on the 5th fret. You're not playing the high or low E. I'm muting that kind of by touching it with my pinky and using my thumb. And we're going to do triplets. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, or triplet. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3. 1 pola, 2 pola, 3, 4. So you're doing 3 downs over a beat. Do that 2 times. Triplet, 3. Then I just kill the sound. Triplet, 3, 4. Back to the top. So we're going to add some licks if you're slightly more advanced. But let's get the skeleton of this. You can use this to jam with your friends. You can use it to write a song. It's just rhythm and blues, or rhythm over a blues 12 bar in G. You can also transpose it. This idea works over the G chord. So anywhere you find your E shape is where you do this idea. So from the top, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're back into the top. So now we're going to add in some fun action to it. We're using the G blues scale, shape 1. The blues scale is the same as the minor pentatonic with 1 extra note. So it's 3, 6, 3, 4, 5, and that 4th fret is the extra note. That is the difference between the blues scale and the pentatonic. 3, 6, 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6. And we're going to be building off that. Now, if you were to sing this song, you would sing over measures, or make a song out of this. You'd sing over measures 1 and 2, then you'd sing over 5 and 6, and then you'd sing over 9 and 10. Meaning 3 and 4, 7 and 8, and 11 and 12 are kind of areas for you to create fills and noodle. And we're going to do a triplet lick that's going to play 3rd fret for the first beat of the E string, pinky on 6, ring finger on the 5th of the G. 1 pola 2, 2nd beat, index finger, 3rd fret of the B string. 1 pola 2, 1 pola 2 pola 3, 6, slide to 5, getting that blues note in, and then 3rd beat on the 3rd fret of the G string. Now remember, when you're learning to do this, the slide should be in time. So it should sound like, not, you don't want to rush it. It's the same as playing, but we're just sliding between the two. 1 pola, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4. And then we're going to drop down to the D string, and it's 5, 3, 5. You'll finish on the 5th fret here on the 4th beat, which is our root note. 1 pola, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4. So the first 4 measures now sound like 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 pola, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4, 1 and 2, and then back up. Now we're going to use that same lick the second time through. So over C, we're going to get up here. We're going to go 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 pola, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4. Turn around. Just like that. So we've only changed those 2 measures. Let's take that from the top. All right, so let's take it from the top. 1, 2, either start over, finish the song, however you want. But that is how you use the minor and major third to get some really cool grooves going with your shuffle. And that's also how and when to mix licks and fills with your more advanced shuffle ideas. New guitar tutorials every single Monday. Think about becoming a Patreon. Cheaper than a cheap cheeseburger for these tabs. And think about those lessons as well. My email's in the description. I'll catch you next Monday for guitar. Wednesday and Saturday for ukulele.